reading about the friends. Unheard society still looks down. They do this why they don't want us to try. So they'll reply, hey, we don't want no trouble. We don't want no trouble, no day. Hey, lady, where you come from, people die there every day. For our safety, that's where you should. We don't want no trouble. We don't want no trouble, no day. Yeah. Lady, where you come from, people die there every day. For our safety, that's where you should. We don't want no more.
Nothing else sounds as good as
WEFM, the clean, fresh sound.
Rise and shine. Let's get ready to take on the day. Activated Mornings on WEFM 99.9 is on now.
All right, and just before we get into our commentary segment, remember that today is Tuesday, which means that the Searchlight midweek paper is out online, all right? And to give you the headlines, local DJ dies in motorcycle crash in Barley. Man claims hacked Facebook page being used to send death threats. Jamaican dancehall artist Vibes Cartel meets with medical professionals and entertainers in SVG. Opposition member of parliament says no more late nights for him in parliament. Gunsalves hopes SVG will be included on new LIAT schedule. Meru getting help to restore corals after Hurricane Beryl. Girls High School dominates ECTEL My ICT Champions Real Contest. 3 receive inaugural scholarships from Agriculture Import Warehouse. Dixon Methodist School students receive scholarships valued at $30,000. Ezra Hendrickson is New Vinci Heat head coach, and Prime the Pump discusses leader engagement and employee output. Searchlight journalism you can trust. Check us out online at searchlight.vc. Remember to check out our video stories on YouTube and download the free Searchlight app to access our e-paper and get breaking news and updates.
All right. Then we are back with our activated mornings. I hope that by now you would have joined us. Remember, we are live on Facebook and YouTube, and the number to contact us 457-9997, 457-9997. That's the number that you can call us on directly, or you can contact us on WhatsApp as well with the same number. Good morning, Anne. I see you there.
You're late to class this morning. And what is your excuse? Why are you late
I was
to class
wondering
this
how I
morning?
didn't see her before, so I did.
And you have 100 lines to write at 10 o'clock, all right? Wondering where you were this morning, but once you pop up, we know that you're good, all right? And good morning to Babs and to Vern and to Kojo, who already hit us up on the WhatsApp. Initially, they hit us up to let us know that they couldn't hear at a particular segment. So, it's always good when we know that person's out listening and they reach out to let us know what's up quickly, all right? So that we can rectify things. So good looking out, and thank you very much, guys, for messaging to let us know, all right?
All right. So we are going straight into our discussion. We're going to be talking about Mpox, which was previously known as monkeypox. There's been a name change. It's now Mpox, right? So Mpox has been declared a public health emergency globally. I'm going to read from an article from St. Vincent Times. It's entitled CAFA Monitors Mpox Situation, Urges Member States to be Vigilant. Mpox was declared a public health emergency of international concern on the 14th of August 2024 by the World Health Organization, WHO, following an upsurge of infections by the virus in the Democratic Republic of the Congo and a growing number of countries in Africa. This is the highest level of global alert recognizing the potential threat this virus poses to countries around the world. And it is the second declaration in 2 years of public health emergency of international concern relating to Mpox. This current outbreak of Mpox is caused by Clade 1, which is more transmissible and causes more severe illness. Clade 2 was responsible for an outbreak that the WHO declared to be a global health emergency from July 2022 to May 2023. So presently, no case of Clade 1b Mpox have been reported in the Caribbean and its neighboring countries, including the United States, United Kingdom, Canada, and Latin America. There is also a limited number of travelers and no direct commercial flights from the Democratic Republic of Congo or its neighboring countries to the Caribbean. If you want to read a little bit more, you can go to St. Vincent Times, and I'm pretty sure you can find just about any article on Mpox at the moment on Google or even on YouTube as well. All right, so Mpox is here. It's I think I want to read.
When you say hair,
When
what
I
do you
say
mean?
hair, I'm so okay.
We don't want to
Mpox
raise
is
public
not
alarm.
here in the Caribbean. We don't want it to be here in the Caribbean. It's not here in the Caribbean. It's in the Democratic Republic of Congo and some of the surrounding countries in Congo. So some other countries like Kenya. I need to pull up an article before. Okay. I may have lost it, but there are some other countries now apart from Congo that have gotten the Mpox. Wow, Mpox. Roleza, how you feel about this? I remember the first time I remember Dr. Thompson was here mentioning the first one, Claude 2, was not like this one. He did say that, and it is mentioned in the article. So I think we got to be a little bit more vigilant as it relates to this one.
All right, so just to note how Mpox, or just to give you a bit more information on Mpox. So this is a viral disease that can easily spread between people and from infected animals. It can spread through direct contact with bodily fluids such as urine, sex, and through contaminated materials like sheets and clothing used by an infected person. Common symptoms of Mpox are a skin rash, mucosal lesions, I hope I pronounced that correctly, and which can last 2 to 4 weeks, accompanied by fever, headache, muscle aches, back pain, low energy, and swollen lymph nodes. Now, as I read this, I realized that the symptoms of Mpox can mimic other conditions, right? So it's to be vigilant.
Yeah.
Right? It's for you to be vigilant. Dengue situation happening here in SVG. Common flu, common colds.
COVID as well.
COVID is also present. So it is just one of those situations where we have to be vigilant. And I think more so for persons, I guess, entering the country. I always think of immigration workers and customs officials and anybody who works at an airport.
Because
When I think
they're
of
right
these
there at the
situations-
forefront.
When I think of these situations where the potential of something being spread or transmissible is so easy, and these persons are at the
some of the highest risk.
Yeah.
Very exposed.
Yeah. So yes, persons have to be very vigilant. Now, the thing of it is that for Mpox, from reading a bit more, there is actually no cure. So it causes flu-like symptoms. There is no proven treatment for Mpox. It usually goes away on its own. All right.
Okay. So I want to read just a piece of something from the New York Times just to add a bit more information. It's saying the outbreak is most severe in Congo, which has reported 15,600 Mpox cases and 537 deaths, according to the UN agency. The epidemic there has already proved more deadly than the one in 2022, which was the last time an emergency was announced. It is endemic to Central and Western Africa. It is similar to smallpox, but less contagious, and the virus is spread, as Roleza just mentioned, through close contact with infected animals or people and the consumption of contaminated meat as well. That's one that was there. It can be spread through sexual contact, and there is a risk of transmission from mother to fetus. Right. Just one final piece. 96% of the Mpox deaths in Congo Let me read that again. 96% of the Mpox deaths reported in June were in Congo, a country already assailed by an internal conflict and humanitarian crisis. But the disease has now been identified in 13 countries, including for the first time in the East African nations of Burundi, Kenya, Rwanda, and Uganda. Yeah, so that's the piece I wanted to read there. So it has traveled to some other African countries. And just to reiterate, we got to be vigilant. Make sure that we got to be vigilant for a lot of things these days. It's sad. It's scary. It is unfortunate, but we have to look out for these diseases
But do we say that's life as well?
And I didn't want to say it, but
no, but the reality of it is
exactly
it's life.
It is, unfortunately.
I think. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say the life we're living these days. Every now and again, you just unfortunately have to, as we say, cock your ears to hear of some new something that is out, something that you got to be looking out for, or something that was old and it's resurfacing and things like that.
Yeah, I mean, so while it is that you would always have, every generation, every year, every couple of years, you may have an outbreak of something, right? I think one of the things that we just have to be mindful of is those that are fatal. So once you catch on to, let's say, even if it's dengue, if it's COVID, if it's a flu, if it's Mpox in this case, if you catch on to the symptoms and you get treated or you try to alleviate whatever it is that you're going through as quickly as possible, then there is a strong possibility of you making it and you surviving, all right? But you know how it is for some of us. I put myself in that category that we sometimes leave things a little too late and then then things go very wrong, right? But now we're a little bit more proactive these days. I'm being honest, little bit more proactive, right? But that's the thing, is just to be mindful. But as long as we are living, there are always going to be things that are going to surface, right? Whether it's new in the context of COVID, although there in decades before, there was something else that came out, the Spanish flu that came out before, there are always going to be something. So it's just for us to be mindful. If we already know that we have other underlying conditions, other underlying illnesses, don't take your health for granted.
Right. As we're talking about things emerging, and so I read an article recently on CNN where a 10-month-old child in Gaza has contracted the first case of polio in over 25 years. So, well, we know Gaza, there are some things going on over there. It's unfortunate, especially that it's a baby. So as we're saying, things are happening. That one, though,
which probably means that the child wasn't immunized.
Probably.
Yeah, which probably means that happened. But we just have to be mindful about our health, and it is what it is. I think this, and I'm not even trying to be dismissive, and I'm not trying to be dismissive in the sense where persons don't do anything and say, okay, whatever comes my way, I would accept. But this is part of being alive, reality where things are going to happen. You are going to catch certain things. Luckily for me, knock on wood, I have avoided just about everything. Praise Jesus, but So we have a caller.
Okay.
Hi, caller. Good morning.
Yes, there's a caller. Good morning.
Good morning,
Dave. How are you?
Yeah. Good to hear. Oh, well, I'm hanging in there. And always looking forward to hear you guys and what you bring to the table, and for me to give my 2 shilling piece or whatever, whatever it is worth. And let me deal with Roleza straight away. If you're talking about preparing for a funeral, whatever. You ain't even get married that you tell me about funeral. Huh?
But Dave, so wait, both are life events, right? Both a wedding and a funeral are life events. Yes. So one could happen before the other.
But I just want to remind you that until a tie did not, then you could talk about that. So make up your mind.
What do you mean make up your mind? But Dave, this is neither in my control. Let's put it that way. Neither are in my control.
And one is most definitely inevitable.
Neither are in my control.
I'm glad you all know that, but I just wanted to.
You wanted to hear my
I'm sure
mouth?
there are a lot of guys. I'm sure there are a lot of guys out there just waiting for the opportunity. But then
Oh, wow.
you also have to give the final answer, right? When it comes to that tiny knot and so on. I remember some time ago you said something which I was pleased about. I don't know how many other women say that, like how you said it, that you don't want to hurt anybody's son and all that sort of stuff, you know. So that's a compliment on your part.
Disappoint anybody's son.
Yeah, come on. Some women would not think about it that way because, you know, we have had a lot of examples like that. But, oh boy, there was something that I had on my mind immediately, talking. I went off too much on that one. But when you think of like for instance, I just hear you mentioned something about Gaza. Think about that. Nearly 200, it's over 40,000 people don't get killed in that. I was going to say Basa. Well, let me say Basa is a local thing. But think about it. In this day and age, you have educated, but they're scams and they're murderers. And I love to, when these things happen, murderers just taking people innocent lives like that. Huh? And then other governments either supporting or they remain silent. Think about these things. I know, boy. I am happy I lived so long. Yeah, I'm happy I lived so long to understand how the world really is, how we make up, how we behave, and all this kind of stuff. And you telling me you dress down in three-piece suit or how much piece, and you meet in conference or whatever it is, huh? To bring peace? How you gonna bring peace when you can't bring peace in your own self? Huh? I mean, the whole thing is really hypocrisy, a fallacy and all of that. If you understand what I'm talking about, the message I'm sending out there. And that's why, yes, you have to be careful with monkeypox and all of that stuff. And even the history, where that thing originates, where it is present. That country was one of the African countries that was plundered by Europeans. The Belgium specifically, they do all kind of wickedness to my people. That's why you see, I don't know if I can be forgiven to them. Nah, because they have no mercy upon us, and because of all of that, it continues today, and we need to understand all of this. We as black people need to understand our history and why we're having all these problems and so on. Huh? No wonder why, but sometimes I wonder if he really means what he says. Professor Hilary Beckles, I mean, he has spoken out about what these so-called white, however you want to look at them, what they did to us, and we need, reparation, they say. We need compensation, we need something, but it has taken us so long. And while it has taken us so long, we, among our own Caribbean people, have become more divisive more than anything else. We are our own enemies. I don't know how better I can put it across, but that's just my input. Thank you.
All right, Dave. Thank you. All right. Mm-hmm.
All right, then. All right. So I forgot what we were saying before, but let's continue to just look at the reality of the world that we are living in today. Dave was talking about some of the things that are going on, non-health wise, and that's something to also think about, because I found it interesting to know that in Gaza, where there is this unrest, here comes this child with this disease, and also in Congo, where there is also unrest, here surfaces Mpox. In interesting things to note. And observe.
Yeah, and interestingly, I just jumped on Loop News, and one of the headlines is cholera outbreak in Sudan kills at least 22.
Oh,
right. So
wow.
Southern Sudan has been stricken by a cholera outbreak that has killed nearly 24 people and sickened hundreds more in recent weeks, health authorities said. The African nation has been roiled by a 16-month conflict and devastating floods. All right. So at least 22 people have died from the disease, and that at least 354 confirmed cases of cholera have been detected across the country.
Wow.
Yes, so when it's not one thing, it's the next. Unfortunately, it is that
indeed.
Way. Right?
We just got to continue to take care of ourselves, see what we could do for us first, and then for the persons around us, our surroundings, just because what can we do when these things are continuing to occur? I still find it so interesting, especially now that you found that article to mention another place where there has been some other issues going on. Here comes another health issue. Wow.
Yeah. So everybody, just be mindful, be vigilant about your own health, take proactive steps, and try to be careful. All right, be vigilant and try to be careful. So
that's the most diet as well. Yeah. Just saying that. Remember your diet to eat foods that are healthy and helpful. Start with the same 2 letters. Go ahead, Roleza.
No, I was finished.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right then. So I think that we have to take a short ad break here, and then we will be right back with you.
St. Vincent and the Grenadines.